Hi everybody, this is Chuck Pressberg from Press Check Training and Consulting. Today I want to do a little video, talk you guys through the Peltor TEP-100 active hearing protection earplugs. I've been really shopping around, looking at the industry over the past couple years, looking for a good set of commercial off-the-shelf, inside the ear active hearing protection. Active hearing protection, as you guys may or may not know, simply means that you're going to have a set of hearing protection that is going to amplify existing noise, and it is going to compress noises above 85 decibels. So once the unit hears anything that is not hearing safe, it will go ahead and compress that noise and reduce the sounds down to only a hearing safe level, and that's what's broadcast into your ear. Older and some of the off-brand, less expensive active hearing protection systems, they will actually shut off the electronic hearing mode above non-hearing safe levels. And this can create a problem when you're in really noisy environments. I've experienced it on actual training missions and raids with earlier generation systems where when gunfire started inside of the building, I was no longer able to hear teammates that were giving me verbal direction and communication, and I lost situational awareness of what was going on around me until those high noise events like gunfire and flashbangs had subsided. So when looking at active hearing protection systems, you should absolutely be looking for systems that use a noise compression as opposed to an active cutoff. So a lot of you guys may be familiar with the Peltor series Comm active hearing protection ear muffs. These things have been the gold standard. I wore my first pair in combat back in 2001, the original Comm ones, and I've been wearing Comm on every single deployment that I've gone on right up to the point that I retired last year. So this is a dual comm system. It's got double pigtails, Nexus pigtails. They plug into various push-to-talks that interface with intercom systems, tactical radios, telephones, other items, ICS inside of vehicles, things like that. Dual comm system feeds in two cables. Left cord transmits in your left headphone, right cord transmits in your right headphone. So if you're monitoring multiple radios, you can tell which net or which radio was speaking to you by which ear that sound comes into. Extremely good for tactical operations and when you're running comms as part of your plan. Expensive headsets, they retail well over $400 for the dual comm system. It comes with a boom mic and standard foam ear cups. The Comm 3 and your Comm ACHs, they have a noise reduction rating or a dB reduction rating of about 23. So they can compress or reduce about 23 decibels of ambient noise to get those sounds down around your and below your hearing damage or safe hearing threshold. Going back to my new toy here, these are simply range earplugs. They could also be used if you are a law enforcement officer or someone that is using a radio that does not have an integrated communication system. Whether you're wearing a lapel mic or you have a radio with a speaker built into the device and it's on your hip, this system allows you to just operate in your environment, hear other noises, the radio in the car, the radio on your hip, and other stuff without having to spend the extra money to integrate your communications directly into your active hearing protection. This is the TEP-1. It does not have any type of interface with Bluetooth or any type of transmission device. There's no ANT waveform or anything like that that would allow you to sync it to your phone and listen to music while you're on the range or answer a phone call and broadcast into a lapel mic or something like that. The TEP-200 series does in fact have those capabilities. So these are a rechargeable earpiece, and they have their own ingrained docking station right here inside of their waterproof charging box, and they recharge using a hot shoe. They have a very, very simple round button on it. You push the button and hold, and they activate. The microphone is located right here on the end of the earpiece. And if you want to charge them up, they last for about 16 hours on a charge. Every 2 hours, they will give you a tone letting you know that they've been on. And you can place them right into the box. The box closes and is waterproof once it's in a closed configuration. Peltor was kind of looking at this as a potential contender for a active hearing protection system for the entire United States Army, where the military would replace traditional disposable earplugs with an active system that would give them better situational awareness when they were out in the field. So, although the box is, the docking station is a charger, and it does have an equipped micro USB charging cable, which plugs into the side of the docking station. So I can, using any type of phone or cube puck, charge it off of AC, DC in a car, whatever, straight through the box and right into the system. It also has the ability to use 3 AA batteries to charge if you're in a field environment where you don't have access to AC or DC power. You push the button here and hold it, and it will give you the status of your headsets. So one of my headsets is charged. The other one is still charging at this time. After a couple seconds, it goes out. Solid red light means it's charging. Green means it's charged. Flashing red means you've got a connection problem or it's not charging. And then an amber yellow lets you know that your onboard disposable power is low and it's time to change your batteries. This does not, if it is not powered up with batteries or plugged into a wall, the indicator lights do not work. So you cannot tell what the status of your earplugs are just by plugging them into the case without any type of external power. These LED lights are fed off of the power of this battery pack or the cord going out with the micro USB. Now let's talk about various earplug options. So they come with triple flange earplugs in small, medium, and large, and foamies. And then as an aftermarket, you can buy these other earplugs in a pack, and these are called skull screws. And the skull screw replacement tips, this is a pack of 10 pairs, 20, cost me I think $22 on Amazon or whatever. So why did I buy those as opposed to just using the stuff that was issued? Based on what type of earplug you have attached to these, it gives you a different noise reduction rating. So the triple flange are 24 dB NRR, okay, noise reduction rating. So essentially they're as good or a little bit better than wearing my Peltors when properly sealed. That's one of the things that we don't talk about. When these companies give you these ratings, this is based on those foam cups having a proper seal all the way around you. If you throw the arms of some type of sunglasses in there or a knit cap or a balaclava or something like that, you are now interrupting that seal between the side of your head and these ear pros. So you're going to get more noise bleeding through. So that is an optimal noise reduction rating of 23. So the triple flange, they're 24. The foamies that come with it, they are 26. And these skull screws are 30 dB noise reduction rating. So really, really good fit and seal. You squish them and roll them in your hand, stick the device in your ear, rotate it, and then power it up. There's no volume knob per se on this. You just hit the power button and release, and it will give you a high tone beep. It will give you a higher pitched beep, and that lets you know that you're in the high mode. And that actually amplifies the surrounding noise a pretty good bit. When you first turn it on, if it's in low mode and it gives you a lower tone beep, that they're trying to achieve average sound hearing. So if you've got decent hearing, you don't wear hearing aids because you haven't been blown up in Iraq and Afghanistan a bunch of times, the low setting is going to sound like normal ambient noise to you. For us deaf people, it sounds a little bit muted. So I've got to crank it up to the high mode. But the high mode does actually work. As a hearing aid user, I can absolutely hear the amplification of these, and the sound quality is really, really, really good for the price point of these systems, which we'll talk about later. So I can actually put these things in and wear them like a poor man's hearing aid. If I don't have my hearing aids, if I'm out of little small hearing aid batteries or whatever, I can fire these things up when I'm on a trip and listen to the hotel television and not have the TV cranked up where I'm messing around with my neighbors or whatever. What else comes with this system? You have a neck lanyard. If you want to, you can tether the two earplugs together. So if you want to pull your Hearing Pro out for whatever reason and let it sit around your neck, you can go ahead and do that. I've never used it because these things are so comfortable, and I've worn them up to 8 hours without removing them. They're so comfortable for me in my ears that I just leave them in. And the only time that I take them out is if we're going to take an actual break and leave the line for an extended period of time. And then I'm powering them off just to save batteries, not because they've become uncomfortable. And then these little chiclets down here are actual little mini foam pads, and they're adhesive, and they go directly over the microphone port on the back. And these are one-time use disposable. You'll see on the old Peltor here, I've got one missing and one not. There's foam here, and there's foam over the Comm's microphone. These are designed to reduce wind noise in high wind environments. So I wore these things for the first time all weekend out at the Shooter Symposium 2018 down at the ranch in Texas. On the second day of the event, we had winds that were over 20 miles an hour gusting out there on the range. And I really thought that I was going to need to go get my sticky pad of chiclets, but I didn't. I never felt that the wind noise coming into my Ear Pro was distracting me or reducing my ability to hear what was going on around me as far as the students and the actions that were going on the firing line. So I was really impressed with that. I was also really impressed with the fit of the Ear Pro inside of my ear. These things look kind of large, but they actually fill up the inside of the ear, and they're tucked around the outer portion of it. They stay down inside the recess of your ear, so there's not really a whole lot sticking out to be a snag hazard, or anything like that. Back in the day, when in-ear amplifiers first came out, the Walker game ears got to be pretty popular for a very short amount of time with the tactical community. And the reality was that they stuck out too far, and guys doing tactical stuff were brushing their ears and heads up against the side of rifles, slinging, unslinging weapons, branches in the woods, whatever, and guys were losing their game ears. And so after we had lost a bunch of game ears out in the woods, people were like, man, these things just don't stay in your head. And so it was kind of a vogue thing, and we went right back to Peltors. So in really high noise environments, firing short-barreled rifles in indoor ranges, shooting next to guys that have breaks in competition or on firing lines during tactical classes, or the employment of charges and flashbangs indoors, you're going to get a noise decibel level that is higher than that of a standard rifle's report. And if you are ever wearing hearing protection and somebody shoots next to you and you hear your ears ringing, you have exceeded the threshold of your hearing protection, and you are getting some damage. So the last thing that I wanted to see was if I take amplified noise compression, electronic active hearing protection, and I stick it on the microphone of another electronic, amplified, compressed, active hearing protection system, am I going to get distortion or feedback? And the answer is no. So, being a deaf guy, I can take active earplugs, turn them on, crank them up, stick them inside of active ear muffs, turn them on, crank them up, and I have a tremendous amount of ambient noise increase. I can hear breathing. I can hear shuffling in the hallway. I can hear people whispering behind me in a stack. All of those important things in terms of situational awareness that you would want. So I would absolutely have no qualms or concerns about wearing both of these in conjunction with one another. Shortly before I retired, I'd say the last 3 or 4 years, I was having to wear my hearing aids under my Peltors because even with my radio turned up all of the way, when I was inside of a helicopter, I was unable to hear the traffic that was coming over my 148 Embedder Jim or my 152. So these systems are built to repel sweat and to last in that type of high moisture environment better than commercial off-the-shelf hearing aids. And that's the problem that I was having, was that I was frying my hearing aids in hot, sweaty environments, wearing them under my Peltors, and just kind of all of that moisture was just trapped in there, and it was going right into the electronics of my hearing aids. And if I didn't immediately take those hearing aids out and stick them in a bag of rice or their own little gel pack dryer out thing cup that came from the audiologist, they were going to die in short order. These seem to last a lot better. Like I said, this system here also designed for the soldier to wear for or to have on his person for continuous operations. So if he's doing patrolling and he doesn't think he's going to need his earplugs until he gets to the objective rally point prior to going to the objective, he can close this thing up, seal it up, tie it off to the inside of his rucksack. If he's got to swim a river, something like that, his earpro is going to be totally watertight inside of that protective case. So price point on this, I got these from Amazon Prime, $250. So about $50 to $100 less than a slick Peltor Comm without the added Y cable or communication setup on a standard single comm. So extremely good value for what you're getting. Some of the cheaper active hearing protection, the sport models offered by the various manufacturers, I just think that they're getting that cost savings at the sacrifice of audio quality. I just don't think that the audio is as good on some of the lower end $100, $150 headset systems that are out there that they're marketing towards shooting enthusiasts. So if I wasn't running tactical radios, I would take these in the ear over any of the earmuff styles that are of the lower price point out there. That's how impressed I've been with the sound quality thus far. Now that I've gotten these, I'm going to go ahead and invest in the second pair, and I'm going to get the 200 series. I'll do another video on the Bluetooth features, interface with the phone, listening to your finger death punch when you're out on the range, whatever you've got going on. I'm going to go ahead, maybe a little bit of discussion about low visibility operations or integration with patrol radios. Possibility that patrol officers could wear active hearing protection for an entire 8-hour shift and be ready to go anytime they have to apply deadly force and not have to worry about that auditory exclusion and permanent hearing loss as a result of gunfire. So I'm pretty excited about these. They've been out for a couple of years. Probably a lot of guys like, hey, Chuck, this isn't exactly a new thing, buddy. But I haven't seen a whole lot of reviews on it. My boy Fish is the only one that I know that's been running them for a while. And once again, Fisher's recommendation to me was that he had 3 pairs going on, his oldest pair going on 3 years. And he's only finally shorted out one of his earplugs of the oldest pair. The earplugs are sold as replacements for $100 each. So if you do lose one of your earbuds, it gets run over, you put it in the wash and it doesn't survive, whatever, you're not out $250. You have made a $100 mistake, but it's not the end of the world. The 200 series with the Bluetooth right now on Prime is going for about $365. I'm sure you guys, through your law enforcement safety distributors out there, guys that are really big 3M distributors and have got good LE Buddy pricing, I think you guys could get into some of those for less than that. But I'm going to go ahead and spring for the 365, 200 series, and then these 100s are going to be my backups in my range bag. All in all, I am extremely impressed with the performance of these. I will be doing a video in the future about my CommTac and the push-to-talk buttons that I use, antennas and other stuff. That really wasn't the purpose of this. I wanted to focus on this, but you guys had to know where I came from so that you know how we got to here. If you got any questions, hit them up in the comments. Appreciate you guys liking the page. Share it. Let your friends know. This is Chuck from Press Check Training and Consulting, and I am out of here.